you do a test already?
No.
I guess we're gonna figure if it's working.
Just let me know if it's working.
You gotta bring it. Are you gonna sit right there? Are you gonna?
I'm gonna sit right here. I like where I'm at.
Hi. Scoot up closer to you. Can you scoot over a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we got a friend today. Hi everyone. I'm Nori Ponsel.
And I'm Gerard Ponsel.
I help millennial women feeling stuck get out of their heads and overcome their paralysis by getting to know themselves.
And I help Black millennials get clients and grow their consulting firms with ongoing training, online training, and a group of like-minded Black millennials. So good evening to everybody hanging out with you guys. With the wifey tonight.
This is my husband. His name is
long time no see.
And today I wanted to do something different with this live because I realized that I talk so much about.
What's this down here on the screen?
Oh my God, JP's new to this. When people like things, he stays like that.
Yeah. I guess nobody liking my shit.
See, someone is liking.
Okay. Oh man, you got all types of action over here. Okay. I'm going to come hang out over here more.
You do need to come here. Hola, Berta. This is my friend Berta.
You got your glasses on. Can you see?
I can see enough.
You can see
so
that.
In today's video, I wanted to do something different. Usually I do Q&A, but today I wanted to actually share with you what it's been like to go through this work, what it's been like to go through this experience. I talk a lot about doing the work, and I even shared the tools and tips on how you can do it, but I don't think I've really stopped to come on here and share with you what my experience has been like about doing this work. So JP was offer himself to come and talk to me about it on here. And if you have questions about anything that I'm sharing, drop it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to address them. Specifically today, I want to be talking about how I realized that I did not believe in myself. And then what am I doing to overcome that lack of belief in me? So if you're just joining me today, I'm sharing with you how I realized I did not believe in myself and how I'm addressing that. So
how did you do all this stuff without believing in yourself? Like, I think it's pretty amazing the fact that you have this brand you've been running for literally years.
Yeah.
You've done all these projects, and it's really this journey in your business that's pointing out that, I haven't really been directing a lot of this.
Hey, Destiny. Yeah. It's really challenging because when you go through life, you think you're doing things for you. You think you're doing things because you always wanted to do that. You always wanted to have that job, or you always wanted to go to college, or you always wanted to marry someone or whatever. You think you're doing these things because of you, because you really want to do these things. But what you don't realize is that sometimes you're not doing that thing because of you. You're doing that thing because you are a manifestation of the beliefs of your parents, your society, of everyone. And you don't know that your decisions are not really your decisions, even though you're making the decision, or that you're not the root of those decisions. So for me, over the past 2 years, I've been really intentional about getting to know myself, getting to the root of what is happening with Nori, and using that information to manifest the life that I want. And what that means is that I spent a lot of time journaling, a lot of time crying, because I do want to say one thing about doing the work is that this doing the work is not a painless process. And I think
it's not.
A lot of people think that when you talk about doing the work, it's going to be all roses and it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be meditating, burning sage. It's going to be nothing but all the revelations coming down on us. And that's not how it works in real life. That you can burn sage and you can meditate, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be painful to start seeing what the things that you want to see about yourself.
So you have the burning of the sage, the yoga, all that part of the work that you just mentioned. What's some of the other things you've been doing for the other part of the work that you may not necessarily have been aware of and are becoming more familiar with?
I've really been becoming more self-aware and just seeing honestly what I'm really like. I had no idea what I was really like. Like I had an idea what I was really like, but I'm learning to see how my intentions for doing things have not always been about what's best for me or what takes me to my desired goal, because I haven't really had a desired goal. I hadn't really thought past college or, whatever. So besides getting a job, I didn't really know what was next.
Yeah.
So I've never really, hi, Sanath. Sinath. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Right now, I'm sharing how I realized that I didn't believe in myself, and then what I'm doing about it. So when I graduated from college, I thought I was gonna get this job, and then I was gonna be hanging out there for a while till I figure out the next thing. And I hadn't never thought about so far out what was gonna happen. So I didn't really have a goal outside of that. And I thought my goal in life was to be the best daughter and friend there was. However my friends defined that. So if it meant that I needed to be there for my friends, I was going to be there for my friends. I was going to put my friends first because I love my friends and I wanted them to know that I saw them. I wanted everyone that I interacted with to feel seen. So I will go really, hi, Athena. Oh, Athena, hi. I wanted to go really deep into just being the best friend I could be. And that meant that I was putting myself last. If my friends were calling me and I already had something planned, I'm counseling because I want to be there for my friends. If my mom is calling me and she needs an emergency about something, it might not be an emergency, I'm giving her whatever she needs. I was that person that showed up for everybody. And because I was so busy showing up for everybody, hey, Kevin, I wasn't showing up for myself. Because when was I gonna have time to do that? I'm busy being everyone's friend and everyone and loving everyone. And the reason why I wanted to love people so badly is because I felt like if I stopped loving them, they would stop loving me. And I didn't want them to stop loving me. So for me to get to that point where I saw that, it was 2 years of constant work, of constant pain, of growth. And I wanted to really talk about that because I think people don't realize how much pain it can come. Hey, Twan, how much pain it can come from just facing the reality of who you are. And then I recently realized that I didn't believe in myself, and that I didn't believe in myself because I've been so busy being all these things for other people. I've been busy living the rules that society says you need to live. I've been busy being the wife, being the entrepreneur, being, the employee or whatever, or the daughter and the sister and the friend, that I never had time for me. And when you don't have time for yourself, you end up becoming someone you're not, because you are this person that you think you need to be. And that's why I didn't believe in myself, because I had barely done things for myself. And I realized that yesterday. It happened yesterday. And that's what I'm telling you today. Yesterday it happened. And JP asked me, what you asked me?
I'm the therapist now. Oh, you said I maybe need to go to therapy.
I said I was feeling stuck and maybe I needed to get one session with a life coach or something. I said, I'm feeling stuck.
A life coach.
Maybe I need to talk to someone else.
I switched on my life coach hat and was like, all right. Let's look at the things that Nori has done for herself.
Sanath, I did the same. How did that feel? How did it feel to do that, Sanath? How did it feel to go through that experience and like put everybody above your own needs? Please share with me in the comments. I wanna read it. Go ahead.
So I asked you, what things in the past have you really done for yourself? So like, have you played any sports or any of the jobs that you've gotten more for yourself? And you were just kind of going down a list of things and saying, none of the things were really for me. Now, over the past couple of days, you've come up with a couple more. But you came out on the side that, the things that I've been doing were for other people, not necessarily for myself.
And that was big, because when somebody asks you, what do you do for yourself? That doesn't impact anybody else. That's just for you, for your peace of mind, the thing that feeds your soul, feeds your spirit. And you can only name 2 things. That's a problem, because you live in your life. You are your own body.
What's up, Grandma?
Hi, Grandma. You live in your life. You have your body. Like this is your opportunity. YOLO. You only live once. And I've been spending. The question became, if I can only main 2 things that I've been doing for myself, then what have I been doing, and for who have I been doing it? Right?
I'm like on the other end. I pretty much do everything for myself.
Yes. So it's good because you get to see that there is another way. JP, I've always admired that about him, because he's just so confident in himself, and he just has this thing about he knows what it is, And I'm always like with questions, and I'm always wondering, and a lot of it I struggle with because I didn't know. I never really had done things for me. So I didn't know how hard it was to do things for yourself. I didn't know how challenging it was to show up in that way. I didn't know how much work it was going to take. I didn't know how it was going to make me feel, because
don't worry, this work trying to show up for other people too.
It is work, but from my perspective, it was easier because I have been doing it for so long.
Exactly.
I've been putting myself last for so many years that I'm really good at it. I'm good at being the last person, the last thing on my list. It's like, what do I get? and it came at a cost. And yesterday, I think it was yesterday, JP and I did a live where we talked about opportunity cost. And if you're just joining me, say a hi in the comments. Let me know who you are. Say hi, I'm so-and-so. And I'm sharing how I realized I didn't believe in myself and how am I handling it? What am I doing about it? So Destiny says, I feel stuck as well. I feel like I don't believe in myself to do things I enjoy. I want to be a successful entrepreneur, but I'm afraid. And I kind of put it on the back burner to fulfill behind a wife. Yes. So Destiny, y'all need to, if you read Destiny's comment right now, because that is.
Can we like that?
Yeah, we can like that. We can like that. I don't know if we can like it.
There you go.
Yes, Destiny. That's exactly how I was feeling. I was feeling like I have become, hey Petra, I have come back burner to other people. Like if my friend needs me and I need me that same day, my friend is gonna win. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you? This is my husband, JP. For those of us that just joined, we're talking about how I realized I didn't believe in myself and what I'm doing about it. And if you just join, I realized I didn't believe in myself because to believe in yourself, you need to have a pattern of doing things for yourself. And I recently realized that I have a pattern of doing things for everybody else and not for me. Yeah. And that's why I don't believe in myself, because I've never done the things that would show me that I can believe in myself. And I've been doing them for other people. So it was really, really hard to come to terms with that. And last week was a tough week. I cried a lot last week because I was going through.
But the best week.
Best week ever. and the thing about how I believe in myself now is that I understand now why I didn't have that belief. And now I know that to get that belief in myself, I have to do two things. The first thing is to look around me. Look at the people that I've been investing my time with. Look at my friends. Look at the jobs I've been. Look at my husband. Look at the thing, like my life. Like look at what kind of life I have. And that shows me what I am capable of doing. At the last job I was at, the first year I worked there, I helped them make over extra $100,000. If I could do that for them, then I could do that for me.
Where's that?
I could manifest those coins for myself. You know what I mean? And then I look at the relationships I have with my friends and my family and my husband. It's like I listen to them and I pay attention to them, and I can do that for me too. And I think now that I know that I can do those things for them, that's the first thing. The second thing is to start really doing things for myself more. And that includes getting my nails done, because I love getting my nails done. Pole dancing. I love pole dancing. It's one of the things I do for myself. Even the podcast is one of the things I do for myself. So things that I would have put in the chopping block before, I'm more and more careful about it now because I know how important those things are to me. And that's how you start believing. And it's by taking those tiny steps towards doing the things you love about yourself and saying, yes, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. Destiny talked about how she feels like she can't believe in herself because she needs to be a wife. And you can be a wife and be an entrepreneur. You don't have to pick. It's just that it's going to look a little different. It's not going to be the same. And a lot of us think we know what it looks like to do this work, but we don't. And sometimes it makes us feel crazy. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes our partners struggle because they can't save it. They can't save us. They can't console us in the process. I can't
go through those lessons for her.
Exactly.
And I have to let her sit with the pain of whatever she's going through, because that's the only way to learn. And I tell her all the time when she says, it doesn't work like this for me. I tell her, just do it. Mm-hmm. Because when you just take action, although yes, the pain is going to be there regardless. The longer you think about it, well, the longer you have to sit in that pain, as opposed to if you just make the decision that it's going to be painful regardless. Let me just get it over with.
And I think that just speaks to how hard it is to make that decision, because you don't know that the pain is a good pain.
Right.
We've been taught the pain is bad. So if you're hurting, you need to be healed. You need to be soothed. You need to be sheltered. You need to be cared or whatever. And sometimes you got to sit on that pain so you can understand how uncomfortable this really is for you, for your soul. And then you can change it. And a lot of us want to be saved so quickly that we don't make room for that. Petra says, I'm reading Destiny's comment and I feel the same way. Right. I'll do for everyone, but nothing for me. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly where I was. And not to say that I resent that, because I'm grateful for that time I spent with my friends and being available to them. It has helped me become really good at seeing people. I noticed I wanted people to feel seen. Anyone I talk to, I want them to know that I see you. And I don't mean just with my eyes, but I see the pain that you're going through, and I see the stuff that you're suffering with. And because I see you out, I want you to know that it's these feelings that you're having are helping you grow, and you should not run away from them. A lot of times we want to run away from these feelings because we don't realize how much they help us grow. There was a day last week that I spent the entire day in my office crying. And it was because I was struggling with so much stuff within me to see the reality of what Nori is like. And it felt kind of messed up at parts. It felt kind of fucked up because I'm like, I thought I was better than this. And it could be hard to acknowledge that you're not you're not who you think you are. But that doesn't mean that you can't become that person. You just need to first acknowledge that you're not the person yet. Okay, Destiny says, is it hard to juggle both? I don't want to make my husband feel neglected. How do you juggle? So the partner that I have is not hard at all because JP...
We watch the same channel.
Yeah, JP gets out of my way.
We watch the Give Me Our Space channel.
Yeah.
So we have no problems being together and then go on our separate ways because we both need that space to reflect on our own. She likes to journal. I just like to be quiet or read or do something with my thoughts. So it's actually why we were a good fit, because we started dating. It was a long distance relationship, so we weren't see each other during the week, and sometimes not for weeks. But that was fine because once again we watched the Give Me Our Space channel. Now that would depend on the channel that your husband is watching. What channel you watch? But something that I don't know what that is. that could be useful for you is to really discuss like what are the things that are truly important to you. Have you made a decision that hey, working on my business is what's going to be the priority, and yes, I'm still going to spend time with my friends, my husband, my family, but my primary focus is my business. Before we started dating and then we got married, I was like, hey babe, I want time to be able to focus on these things. And sometimes people aren't always as
perceptive. I mean, that's open and
available to hear that. But as long as you're communicating that, I think that's a good start.
I will even say before you do that, Destiny, you want to ask yourself how important it is for you to have this business. Like, how much do you really want this, and why do you want it for yourself? I think a lot of times we struggle to share our ideas and our gift with other people because we're afraid of what they are saying to us. But that's not the answer. You have to ask yourself, do I really want this? And if the answer is yes, am I prepared to see this go through without knowing how it's going to look and how it's going to make me feel? That's the thing that I would really ask before you even have that conversation. Because if the answer is yes, I believe in this business, I'm ready to go in this business, and I believe in my ability to make this work for me, and I really want to see this through, then your husband and your partner will be able to hear that within you and see that passion, and he'll know like, all right, I'm gonna be there for Bae in this way. But if not, then you won't be able to sell it to him, because you have to be the first person to buy it. You got to believe in yourself first. And once you do that, then you'll be able to move forward. So now I said, I have to go. I'll watch this later. Have a good night. You have a good soul. Oh, thank you so much.
A good soul.
Oh, I love that. I appreciate you coming by. I see you next week, hopefully, for the next one. Davina says, I am a single mother, a full-time worker, and a businesswoman. I have been going through so many stages of depression, and I feel like things are getting better. But I need to learn how to stop being available to people as well and stop worrying so much. I need to learn how to stay positive. I want my business to expand to the fullest potential. I want to be my own boss. Awesome. First of all, I love that, because we are our own bosses too. And we know what it looks like to do that and to have a business, not what it looks to be a parent, because we don't have kids, but certainly we understand what it's like to have a business and the stuff that comes with that. I think from your comment, you say you want to learn how to stay positive. No, let's do the first thing. You want to learn how to stop being available to people. The best way to start that process is to decide who you're going to be available to instead of those people. If you're not going to be available to people, then who's going to take that time? And if that's you need to be really clear on what you're going to be doing with that time. And just set clear boundaries with yourself and with them too, so that they know that you're serious, because you're respecting your own boundaries. That's what I would say about learning how to be less available. And that might mean no phone after 10 o'clock. Don't respond to no more text messages. Don't answer nobody's phone call. They could wait till tomorrow. Don't respond DMs on Instagram. Don't check emails. Like, just turn it off after a certain hour so that you can be clear that 10 o'clock is my cutoff. That's it. I'm done. That's one thing I would say that's a practical thing you can use as far as not being available. I don't answer phone calls after 9. If anybody called me after 9, I wouldn't even hear it because my phone is on silence.
Yeah, we rarely even have our phones. Try to put our phones like in the other room or leave it somewhere next to us, because even on silent, telemarketers or whatever beeps may make it through, turn off the notification. So we just really keep that to the side.
Yeah. Hey, Phil.
The blanks was good.
I need to learn how to stay more positive. Okay. So when it comes to the business, I have learned that it's not about staying positive, and it's more about what are you doing to become who you want to be. That's what's going to keep you positive. It's about taking action. That action is what keeps you motivated, because you learn that you're building this dream for yourself, and it's not always going to be positive to do the work. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it sucks to do the work. Like, sometimes there are going to be things about your business that you're going to be like, I hate this. I hate dealing with humans. Humans are driving me mad. When that happens, you might feel like, I'm not happy with this, but you still have to do it. You still have to push through that part. So I think it's less about how to stay positive and more about how to be comfortable being uncomfortable, if I would say anything.
Yeah, and I would add that a lot of times, in business, we want to see the reward, and usually the reward is money. And a lot of times, you really have to put in work before the money starts coming out the other end. You don't just stand up a machine and it starts working. You at least have to plug it in to get it to start working. And so we have to learn to look at, part of the journey, look at the little rewards and little goals along the way. So, if you haven't made a sale, well, have you collected email addresses? Have you been posting on social media? Are people interacting with your content? These are also signals that you're doing a good job, that you're doing the work, even though you may not see the monetary dollars on it. And if you continue to do the work, you will see it. You just need to, start focusing on smaller chunks and looking at that as progress versus trying to look at the whole big picture. I haven't made $100 million yet, and I suck at business. Make smaller goals and try to use those little rewards on the way.
One thing I love that JP does is, for when we do our daily planners, we have a section that says what will make today great. And in that section, we pick items from our list that will make the day great. And I would say for you, maybe you want to think about what's the one thing that will always make your day great. For JP, is learning something new. For him, it's like every day I learn something new, I had a great day. That's all I need for my day. And it takes away the pressure of your day too, because you don't feel like you need to check all these items on the list. And as a business owner, the list never ends. There are always things that you can be doing. There are always posted content you can be created for social media. There are always people you can outreach into for potential clients or business. There's always things to do. You have a baby, you're a single mom. There's always things that could be happening. So just taking a step back and asking yourself, what are the things that need to happen so that I can pour into my spirit, and that I can be the best version of myself to put this out. And that's really where you want to focus on, and the rest will come. So thank you for sharing that with us. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck to you in your business. JP works with people with businesses. So if you ever need any support with that, feel free to hit him up. He'll be more than happy to chat with you. Do you have to go?
Not yet.
Okay. He'll be more than happy to chat with you. So please, if he hits you up to see if you need anything, don't be alarmed. Any more questions for us about this? Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'm really grateful that y'all are here, because going through the work and getting to know yourself, it can be really challenging. It can be really difficult because you feel like you don't know what's going on. You don't know what it feels like to go through this experience. And it can be really hard. And a lot of us are doing the work right now, and we're not seeing the results and the rewards, not because they're not there, but because we don't know what they look like. So we don't know what to look for.
Mhm.
So right now, whether you believe me or not, you're doing the work. You're getting to know yourself, you're getting more clarity, and you're gaining confidence. Like all those things are happening for you right now, but you have no idea how those things are manifesting because you don't know what they look like. And if you begin to know what it could look like to show up for yourself, then you might start seeing how you're doing this and be more inspired to do more of it and be more prepared for the next part of it. And I really, really wanted to share that. Dominique says, this convo's right on time, loves. Thanks for being vulnerable and open to all of us. Great team. Thank you
Vulnerable.
so much.
I like words like that.
I appreciate you being here, Dominique.
That's our aim, to really let you guys know what it is like to go through this.
And let me know if you want to see more of this type of content where I like open up and share with you what it's like to go through this stuff. If this is kind of what you want to see, I'll be more than happy to share more of this type of stuff. I don't know if y'all really interested in knowing what it's like to do this, but if you are interested, let me know, please. How can we figure out what it would look like? Ooh, can you give me a little more clarity on what would look like? I'm not sure which part did you catch. Dominique is going to tell us a little bit more about her question and what she does that. Babe, do you want to share anything about your journey and what it's looked like for you to do your own work? You being someone that overwhelmingly has done things for themselves for their entire lives. Good for you. For those of us that have it.
I will share that, one of the things about being married to Yunori is that I get to learn a lot of lessons and not have to go through them myself. That meaning is, I'm good at being able to see patterns and learning from other people's mistakes. And, there have been a couple times in our relationship where there were things we spent money on. I was like, babe, I don't know about that. But then I learned more about her personality and learned that, she's the type of person who needs to go through things to learn, and they need to go through it to have that experience. And there's no way they're going to learn without it. So once I learned that, it was a lot. I could say it was a lot easier to understand, the choices she made, and not that they were right or they were wrong. It's just that we each have our own journey, and that there's no wrong journey, there's no right journey. It just depends on what's right for us, and that I can learn just as much, going through it myself as I can from watching her go through her journey as well.
And being married to JP, it's like we really are complement to one another, because
that's on purpose.
While I have this I have this emotional connection and I have this ability to see people and really do it in a certain way, and that's why I do what I do. He's an example to me of what it really looks like to be intentional. How many of y'all have seen that on the internet? Oh, I need to be more intentional. Like, he is the actual person that's intentional about everything, and he's not putting it everywhere out there. You wouldn't know that he's intentional unless you knew him and you spend time with him. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that. Like, they don't realize that talking about the work is not the same as doing the work. Therefore, you don't get the same results as actually doing the work. All right, Dominique got us here with a question. How can we tell what the unknown growth will look like? You were saying that the breakthrough process has downs, but it's proof that you are doing the work. Is there a way to foresee where our future self will look like? Okay.
Nope.
No, there isn't. There is. First of all, yes, there is a way to know what your future self will look like. No, there is no way to know what the growth is how it's gonna manifest.
Yes.
I would say that.
If you want to know what the future self is gonna look like, write it down.
You have to decide that future Dominique looks like this. She does these things. She behaves in this way. She values these things, and she doesn't engage in these other things. And then that's who you are looking to become. It's okay to love yourself and want to see yourself grow. It's okay to love yourself and want to change things about yourself, because that means that you've seen it. That means that you've been able to be open and honest. You've been vulnerable with yourself. And now as a result, you can change these things about you. Society makes it seem like if you want to change yourself, you hate yourself. And that's not true. I change things about me because I love me. I want me to be the best version of myself. I already wrote down who Nori is and what Nori looks like and how much money Nori makes and what does Nori life look like, where she lives. I did all of that. So now it's about becoming that woman. And if you don't write it down, you won't know. For the second part about the growth, you have no idea of knowing because you've never done it before. And sometimes what you need to grow it might be the exact thing you're running away from. So you don't know. And that's what it means
Usually
to
what it is.
surrender. If you're running away from something, you probably need it to grow. Unless it's a clear, like you don't
Something
need that to grow.
isn't
Unless it's
bad,
something
yeah.
like, violence
doesn't
or like
serve your
hurting you, that doesn't
purpose.
serve your life, then obviously, reevaluate that. But if you have a difficult conversation you're not trying to have, you probably should have
If you don't like doing networking for your business, well,
you probably should
go do
network.
that.
If you don't like telling people how much you charge, you should probably tell people how much you charge, because that means that you have something with money, and your relationship with money is not healthy, and you want to have a healthy relationship with money because you want to be abundant. You are abundant, and if you are someone that's abundant, you attract abundance, and that abundance manifests itself in your business. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you do that. If you struggle with talking to people that you don't know, you probably want to tell people that you don't know. You want to get in the habit of talking to strangers. If you struggle with telling your mother no, you need to tell your mother no. And that was the big thing I realized, that a lot of what I was doing, it was to please my mom. And you don't have to take my word for this. You can just take time and scroll down my Facebook page, and you will see that when I got a master's a few years ago, I was like, this is for my mom. When I got my degrees from RIT, when I got my bachelor's, this was for my mom. Everything I've done has been for my mom. And at what point do I start doing things for me? When am I the one guiding it? When am I the one turning the key? When am I the one that's on the driver's seat? And I think a lot of us are so proud of doing things for our parents, or doing things for the people that we believe helped us get there. And that's okay. But those things should be done with you. You should be the intention behind those things, and not those people. Because that's how you know that you can believe in yourself, because you've done these things for yourself over and over again. If you do something for you, then you know you can be the best at it, because you probably are, because you really care. And I think that's the part that's difficult. And for your part, is there a way to foresee what our future self will look like? We already answered that. Write her down, Dominique. I mean it. Break her down. Send me a DM. Like, I want to see. I'm going to ask you about what you look like in the future too. So be ready for that. But just definitely write it down. Share well those things, and don't limit yourself don't limit your own greatness and your own power. Like, dream big. Everyone, when we're born, we have the same stuff. We have the same juice, and from there, we can decide how much we want to take it. So you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing in that way. This is what you need. Oh my God, this is very similar to my life story. I'm so glad I tuned in. Yes, I love hearing that. And like I said, if y'all love this style of just sharing in this way, let me know in the comments, and I can make more content like this. JP and I are like an open book. We want to let everybody in on the secret. If you have the secret on how to have a success, there is no secret. But if you think there is, we want to tell it to you. When it comes to marriage, to business, to being retired millennials, as people say we are, like, we want to tell you how you can do that for yourself, because people aren't telling you the truth. The thing that you think is the truth, that's not it. It's not just about sage burning and meditation. And I burn sage and meditate every single morning. It's not just about that. It's about sitting in with the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. It's about sitting in the pain and feel that pain. Because when you feel that pain, you're like, I don't want to be in that pain no more. And then you do something about it. Feeling the pain forces you to take action. And when you take action, you show up for yourself. And the more you show up for yourself, the more you trust yourself, the more you are able to actually move toward the direction of what you want to move to. So you got to do it. It's not easy. It doesn't feel good. It actually sucks a lot. But in a way that I know is pouring into my soul. I've done more for less that was not pouring into my soul. And knowing that I'm going through this experience is painful. It hurts like hell. But I'm coming at the end with a smile on my face. I just told you I was crying last week for an entire day in my office. And I'm here with a smile on my face from real joy. And I'm so grateful for that day I spent in my office crying, because that means that I have an office to cry in. That means that I have the time to do it. That means that I can release that and come back to you this week and feel this energized. I'm good. But it took a lot to get to that point. And you can be there too, but you just have to be prepared to do that work. And it doesn't always look pretty. And if you're looking for the prettiness, if you think the growth looks pretty and painless and loving and fuzzy and warm, you're in for a rude awakening. And I just don't want you to go to that. I want you to know what it is from the get-go, so you could be prepared. Even if you won't be prepared, but you could be a little bit more prepared.
Even if you don't follow it.
Even if you don't follow it, I still give you the gems. You can do what you want to do with them. And that was my experience last week. And I wanted to share that this week. I wanted to share that with y'all because I want you to know that when you're doing the work, it doesn't feel good. It feels uncomfortable. But it feels uncomfortable in the way that your gut is telling you need to keep going. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Is that same voice that be like, should you really be eating that? And you'd be like, shut up, voice. Eats pizza. It's that same voice that be like, you haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks. Some people think of it as our inner critic, but sometimes you need to listen to the inner critic because it's telling you some real things that you need to address. Mm-hmm. And it's different than the person that tells you you're not good enough. You shouldn't be doing this. That's not what I'm talking about. It's that feeling that tells you were a little rude to the cashier. She's just because you're having a bad day. It's not her fault. That's that voice that tells you that. And you have to be available to that. So be more available to you and be less available to other people. Yesterday, JP and I talked about opportunity cost. And that means, what is it costing you to do one thing in your life? And I realized that to be that friend that always gives herself to everyone, to be that friend that no matter what, shows up for her friends, weddings, I don't care where you get married, I'm there, I'm coming. I've been to many destination weddings and I'm there. Like, you having a baby, I want to be there. Baby shower, I want to be there. It's so hard for me to say no to things that is like, I can't, this is not a priority right now, but that's the person I am. And to become that person, it cost me a lot about myself. But the beautiful thing is that now I know, and I can begin to pour into myself now. Now I know that I don't need to be this friend so that my friends love me. I know my friends are going to love me regardless because they are my friends. And that's okay. And I know that because they love me, they want me to be good. And they want me to do what feeds my soul and feeds my spirit. And that means that I can't make their child third birthday. It's cool. That doesn't make me any less of their friends. And for you, if you're the person that is constantly pouring into other people, you're the person that they call every time. If so-and-so got crazy in the office, they calling you and telling you about it. If the boyfriend is acting wild, they calling you and telling you about it. If somebody needs money, they calling you and asking you for it. If you're the person that's the always picking up the calls, you need to understand that it is costing you something to always be that person. And ask yourself if you want to continue paying that price. And the price you're paying is you, is the attention that you can give to yourself. And when you give yourself the attention, guess what happens? You learn to believe in yourself. And that's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm handling it. I am eating better. I mounted my pole, so I'll be doing more of that. I am excited about the podcast. I am excited to be married to this person. And it's beautiful to be able to go into this next season in my life, just knowing that the work is showing up and manifesting in ways that I could have never imagined. So it's worth it to do this work. And I hope that today helped you move closer to doing more of it for yourself. And if you have questions about the work that you might be doing and you feel like, Nori, am I doing the work? Is this how it's showing up? Slide in my DMs, ask me about it. I want to talk to you. I want to help you. No one deserves to go through this by themselves. It took me 2 years to get here. And I went to therapy. I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in my professional development. And now that I want to give you answers, and I want you to benefit from all of that stuff I have been through on my own. And you can do it because I did it. And if I can do it, the person that literally was asking everybody for answers, then I know that you can do it too. So thank you for spending time with us today.
Talk to you later.
You went over our time. Look at y'all. Yes. I'm going to see you next Thursday. You already know. Let me know if you want JP to come back. Drop it in the comments. And I'm going to link his profile for those of you that got businesses and all of that. Holla at the booth. And I will see you next week.
Later.
Bye, y'all. Besos, 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 besos. Oh, check me out. IamHealthyFit.com. IamHealthyFit.com and JerradoPalzo.com is his website. Go check him out. JerradoPalzo.com is his website. And I will see you guys next week. Kevin is like, come back.